Ross McNamee, you're very welcome to the show.
Thanks very much for having me, Nicky.
Great to see you. And I suppose we'll keep the tradition rolling here, and we'll ask the inevitable question.
Yeah.
Who are you and why are you here?
Yeah, so my name is Ross McNamee. I'm a 21-year-old business owner. I actually turned 21 on Saturday, just gone.
Congratulations.
And who am I? I am, first of all, I'm from South Dublin. I built the business I'm running now back in October in 2023. And why I'm here is because I get a lot of value from learning people's stories as they're coming up. And because I'm only like the first year in business, second year in business, I think one, it'll be good to look back on, to see my progression and stuff and see how my beliefs change. And also this might be some value to someone else that's getting into business, and they might be able to look back on my previous year and get some value from it.
Great. So, 21 years old, already have a business for the last couple of years. We spoke earlier, you said that, this all started not 2 years ago, but more like 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm really interested and looking forward to hearing about that story. However, before we get there, you grew up in Dublin?
Yeah. So I'm actually living in Terranure in Dublin, yeah.
Okay. Big family, small family, business family, non-business family?
Very businessy family, to be honest. Like even like my granddad that like sadly passed away, he sold his company. My mom then followed the tradition, and now she's running a business with my dad. And then that kind of goes down to me, and that's where I kind of probably get the inspiration for it, as in I would have grown up in a business family. So it's kind of inevitable for me. Like,
is running a business and starting a business at a young age, is that the privilege of people who have come from business backgrounds, or can anybody do it?
I think anyone can do it. I think just because I had that when I was young, like I was looking back, like when I turned 21 on Saturday, I reflected a lot on like my past, 20 years. And I was just like, when did this all start? And I think it starts at 5 years old when I was on the road selling sweets, all the way up to now where like, it's just about ideas. Like I was open to anything. So I was hopping from thing to thing to thing, but it was always kind of that creative kind of business mindset. So to answer your question, like I was introduced to it very early, but I see people that aren't involved in business at all that still do very well. So I don't think it's necessarily something that it's only because I'm in a family business.
Yeah. I often speak to people who say to me, I'd love to have run my own business, but, I wasn't from a business family, or my parents never gave me a financial education, or my dad and mom, worked in, shall we say, PAYE jobs, regular jobs. So I never got that exposure to business as a young person. So you obviously did. Yeah. So would you say that you've had a head start in business in life, or are you the type of person who would have done it whether you had a head start or not?
To be honest, I think if anything, it probably isn't a head start, because like I don't want to build what my parents have. They have something completely different to what I envision. So I actually probably had a few limiting beliefs going into it, where I'm like, business has to look this way, it's this, when they weren't correct. And like, even from mentors and stuff, like they're like, that's not your belief. You have that because of like, your childhood business that you're involved in. Like, it's not the business I want to run. So anything, I think I have to like unlearn some stuff. So someone's starting out fresh. If someone says that like, I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z, I don't care what the X, Y, and Z is. It's a limiting belief. Like,
tell me more about limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs are huge. I try like that. That's why I'm so big on like investing in mentors and stuff, because someone that's 5 years ahead of you, and you say one thing, they can be like, say that again and think about it. And you say it out loud again, and you actually think about it. You're like, if you can't justify where your belief came from, it's not your belief. It's someone else's.
Okay, so I'm trying to unpack this in my brain now. Are you saying to me that we have to build up our own set of beliefs for them to be really true and really real? Are you saying to me that if we listen to enough podcasts or go to enough mentoring courses and read enough business books, we create a set of beliefs for ourselves, but they may not be true beliefs for us because they haven't come from within. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. No, I understand your point. Like, I think like my core beliefs about the way business should work has came from a mixture of like this person saying this and this person saying this, and then you get a aha moment,
Okay.
which I live for. The aha moment is what I love. Reading the book and you go, that makes so much sense now.
And
That's what I love.
what's wrong with the business that your parents run, or the type of business that it is?
Yeah. So first of all, it's like, it's based in Ireland and it's staying in Ireland. It's not going anywhere. The main issue I have with it, okay, is the lack of structure. Okay. And like the last thing I want is a 80-hour a week job. My parents have about 4 jobs. They don't own a business. They have about 4 jobs each.
Okay.
And for example, my dad has been out of work for the last year, and now my mum has 8 jobs. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So he had a back surgery there. He's had 3 surgeries in the last year. He's been very unlucky. But from that, equips my mum with 4 extra jobs to do.
Okay. So is your mother, and I hope they won't mind us speaking like this about
No,
them.
no, I don't think they will. I think I'd say this to them, so it's okay.
Great. So do your mother and father exchange their time for money, and is that the real issue here?
Yeah, I think it is. I think my mum is a bit ignorant to like new ways of business. Like, she just gets her hands dirty, like, and I also get that from her, and that's what I love about my parents. Like, does I get that kind of like getting your hands dirty, just getting in there, because that's how you build it to begin with. Like, but now they're at the stage where like they should be like building a system around everything, and my mum's phone doesn't stop. She's getting last minute calls to go here, there, the other, and she's just basically every single job. She still does the invoicing, like, and it's a decade in 2023. They launched it, so it's 12 years into business, and she's still invoicing customers. I'm just like, stuff like that. You need to have a system for it, and you get the right people in. Like,
so you're looking for control.
Yeah.
Do you believe that business and the nature of business and the nature of how businesses are run are fundamentally changing now into a new realm?
I would think so. Yes and no. Like, let's say my parents' business, like, they're very like on the ground. It has to be based in Ireland. They're serving customers, like. But if you look at like maybe newer businesses, like tech businesses and stuff, the way everyone's remote now, I think it's much more important to have like kind of the systems in place. But like for my parents, they just need to have a bit more structure, I feel like, in the business.
Is the business world going to look completely different in 5 years' time than it does today? What are the big factors that are driving that change?
I obviously think the digital is going to have an impact in some way, like AI, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think it's going to change drastically. I don't think, like, obviously I'm only 21, like, but like looking back on like Amazon and stuff, like, I don't feel like those businesses would be built any different now. Like, Jeff Bezos just got his hands dirty, got in there, had an idea, and he built it. Like, I think if you build it today, it wouldn't be much different than a laptop in your garage or whatever. The famous picture of Jeff Bezos, like with the Amazon banner in the background. Like, I don't think he'd build it much different.
Okay.
So, like, I don't think the business world will change that much over the next 5 years.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more about your business, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I have heard that, there's been 3 very distinct business movements. So it all started way back with the farming world, the feudalism system, where it was all about land, and I want 1,000 acres of yours and I'll kill you for it, and so on.
Yeah.
Then it moved into the industrial age when a machine was able to do the work of 10 people who used to do that job. So then came the industrial age, right?
Yeah.
And now we're moving into the digital age and the data age, where automation and autonomy and robots are actually now doing the jobs that anybody can do. So we're moving into a new realm of business, and you seem to be at the forefront of that.
When you put it like that, I could rephrase my question and rephrase the answer to my question.
Go ahead.
I could say, like, I do think that it will change. I think knowledge will be huge on how to use stuff like AI and stuff like that. Like an AI revolution is 2 years into the progression now, like, and I think that's going to have a huge impact in the best way possible, I believe.
Yep. What do your friends think of the 21-year-old Ross running his own business for the last 2 years when they're off in university, perhaps?
Yeah.
Some of them might be traveling around the world. What do they think?
Yeah, my friends, like school friends, stuff like that, I never really told much people as I started up. I was always kind of like hiding what I was doing a little bit. Might be a little bit of insecurity, whatever it was. I was always kind of hiding that side of me. And I never really speak to much people about it, like, unless I'm asked. So my friends' opinions, I'm not 100% sure. Now, obviously, I have new friends in school and stuff like that, and that's really positive. And like, all we do is talk business, which I love. But my friends, I have a couple of friends that are really, really supportive, and they are always asking me how it's getting on and stuff. The same way I'd ask them how college is getting on. So like, I'm really trying to learn to be like, who's my real friends, by like, because they want to sit with me and talk to me about work, or they want to help in my college, or whatever it is.
So are you the only one of your cohort as such that is running his or her own business?
Yeah, I think so. Like, obviously, if we're talking about friends, like childhood friends in school and stuff, at this present moment, I think I am the only one that's actually out there with like a limited company set up and stuff like that. Now, everyone has ideas and stuff, which I love that. Like, do you know what I mean? Everyone's ambitious and stuff. And whether that's wanting to be a sports player or to business owner, like I'm all for it. Like, but in terms of actually have a company running at the moment, I think so. Yeah, people have side hustles and stuff like that. But like, this is my only side hustle. Like, this is my one thing. Like,
This is your gig, yeah.
Yeah.
Sports, are sports an important part of your life, or a part of your life at all?
I think sports are amazing. Like, sports for me, obviously, like having a business is a bit hectic sometimes. Like, you can't control that sometimes, and like laptop breaks, this happens, clients, whatever. Sports is like my one place where I can feel like present. Now, obviously, like being present is really important. That's something actually is a goal I have for this year, is to like enjoy like driving my car to the gym more. You know what I mean? I might be on my own head a bit, being like this. I want to be able to drive to the gym and be present and not be stressed. That's one thing I want this year. But sports and playing a game of football is like the one moment where you can't be anywhere else. You're in a game of football. Like I football like soccer, like,
Yeah.
and like when I'm playing those 90 minutes, like there is nothing else in the world. Like, actually, adrenaline, all that, you're in the moment, and that's it. Like, flow state. That's what I live for. Flow state.
Where did you learn all these words and phrases?
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Podcasts, books, mentors, all kind of stuff. But like when I try work on flow state a lot. So like if I'm working in a flow state. And that takes it away from me is like, how am I never letting that happen again?
Flow state is, and this is a question, flow
Like,
state is being totally dialed in, no outside influences. I'm doing it. That's it. I'm away off in my own world doing this thing. Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm typically an early morning person, not because I have more energy in the mornings, but it's when I can get the most fun. So like 4 or 5 a.m. is when I wake up, and like 4 or 5 a.m. to 10, 11 a.m. is like you're like, no one's allowed to talk to me. Like, phone's gone. Like, no one's coming into me. Headphones are on with white noise. Like, it's all very routine for me. And that allows me in a flow state. And I find myself, again, something I'm trying to work on is that from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., I find it much harder to get into a flow state, because in the back of my head is like, that client might text me, or Luke, my sales rep, he might ask me, what price should I do for this client? And it's, again, systems and stuff and like thinking frameworks I'm going to develop, so I don't have to have that anxiety throughout the day. But like for now, 4 to 10 a.m. like is like when I'm getting my best work done and my most enjoyable work. That's where I'm like building the future for my business. Like,
You think it's a good thing that a person of 21 years experiences that level of stress in their life? Or do you think it's absolutely normal? Do you think it's abnormal?
Yeah.
And what are your coping mechanisms?
Yeah, I do think like at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, you're not stressed. like if you're in college, like I look at my friends in college and they're pulling their hair out because they have exams next week. I don't think it's avoidable. I think whatever you want to do, if you want to be kind of, if you want to grow, like you need to have growing pains, as people say, like. So like you need to have that kind of stress. But at the same time, there is ways that you should manage it, like. And I think I probably need to work on that myself. And like the stress comes with like not being present and stuff. So I think like the likes of meditation, the likes of exercise is really important because it's not healthy for a young guy to be stressed all the time. You're still developing. Like I don't know what the age is for men and development and stuff like that, but I'm sure my brain's still developing, and I'm sure stress is hindering our progress. Like, so I think it's important definitely to have ways to cope with stress.
Okay, so you're 15. Was it 15?
When I was running my first business, yeah, 15, 16.
And you ran an e-commerce company.
Yeah.
What is that? What was it?
It was a company called Teddy's Plus. Okay. It was my first real business idea. As I said, like when I was younger, like I had like these little, like I remember when I was 13, I think, I imported like 10,000, not 10,000, that's a lie actually, 1,000 fidget spinners. Remember the fidget spinner phrase?
I
was in first year at school. And I literally got them from China. Like my dad has connections in China and stuff like that. So we ordered a load in, and I went into school.
Yeah.
And I for 3 weeks straight, like the shops didn't even have them yet. So for 3 weeks straight, I was able to sell these for €15, €15, €15, and like this was mental money for me at the time.
You are joking.
Yeah. So first business I ran was actually back then business, and so look, when I was 15, it was my first real business. Like, so I learned how to build a website. Okay. And
how did you do that?
YouTube, like as I said, like podcasts and people talking about Shopify, and at the time, like Shopify, it's so easy. Like it's probably like the only place you could build something like that. Like a simple e-com website where all you had to do was just like template, change the colors, put your logo in, and upload a product. That's it. But it taught me so many micro skills. So like even now, like my company at the moment, we're working a lot with web design, like landing pages and stuff like that. So even the likes of like connecting a domain, I had to learn it. What's a DNS? Like what's a domain name server? I had no idea. So it took me like 2 months to build a Shopify website. It would take me about 3 hours to do it now. But that little micro skill there helped me build another business when I was 19 because I knew how to do that. So like, let's say it took me 3 months to get the Shopify website up and running and get my first sale. If I was doing that now, it would take me maybe a week to get my first sale. So like all the knowledge is compounded into stuff that I'm doing now. So I built Teddy's Plus. Okay. Got the idea because of the COVID. Okay. So all the shops closed. And my parents had a lot of like, seasonal teddy bears that they wholesale teddy bears.
For Christmas and for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So they supply, supermarkets with their like catering disposables. Okay. And they wholesale teddy bears as well. And I remember just like going up there and there's so many teddy bears that like have like big, nice love hearts that are perfectly fine. Tags are, EN certified. Okay. And it was 100%. And I just looked at them as there's such a missed opportunity there. And this is when I like got my first like hit of business. I spent like a month being like, how do I sell these? Like I went to eBay. I went DMing people, asking them if they want teddy bears. I put them on adverts, everything. Didn't make a sale. Didn't make one set. And then ad for Shopify came up.
What did?
An ad for Shopify.
Yeah.
An ad for Shopify came up saying that you can sell products online. And I was like, let me look into this. And I saw a website. I can't do a website, never mind. I'll do something else. And then I noticed myself coming back to it a month later. So I parked the idea. I was like, whatever, I'll take it another time. Probably another ad came up or something. And I just went, I'll just try it. And that's when I like got the adrenaline of like, oh my God, like how do I even market this? What do I do? What do I do? And an Instagram page, a Facebook page, I built the website, had everything up and running. And I was like, what do I do now? Like, can a sale not happen from that? And then if anyone in Ireland's listening to this, okay, Connor Ryan, do you recognize the name?
I think I recognize the name.
Yeah, he's an Instagram/TikTok influencer. Okay, he actually followed me on the account, And I was like, what? How is he following me? I was posting, Canva graphics that I made for in 2 minutes, like, and I DM'd him being like, oh, thanks for the follow. And I actually asked him because he had like his buddy cup and stuff. He used to a few businesses. I was like, do you have any tips for me? I go, this is brand new. I'm 16. Do you have any tips for me? He said to me, like, just keep away at it, like 100%. And he's like, by the way, if you want a promotion, let me know. I was like, how much is the promotion? 100 € for a post. My heart dropped. I was like, oh, no way am I paying him 100 €.
So what? So he invited you.
Yeah.
He said he would come work for you, basically, to put a promotion. He would promote your products on his site.
Yeah, on
for
his,
100 euros.
Yeah, so on his Instagram, you do a few stories and stuff promoting the brand.
Gotcha.
He said 100 €. I actually like nearly laughed. No way is he getting 100 €. Not a chance. And actually, one of my friends, okay, I actually remember mentioning this to him at the time. Yeah, he said to me, 100 €. That's nothing. Like, just put the 100 €. What do I have to lose? Like, I was like, okay, fine. Gave him 100 €, like really reluctantly. And when he put the story up, okay, in no mess, I'd say in less than 5 seconds, there was like 3 sales and money back was made straight away.
No way.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was mad. It was absolutely crazy. And that's the power of like a brand. Like he put up a story, let's say 100,000 people saw it, 10,000 people see it in the first minute. His conversion rate was, I'd love to know the conversion rate from like viewer to like buyer for like his products.
Yeah.
Because I'm not joking, with the first 5 seconds, there was people went onto it, put their credit card details in, add the cart, check out in like a minute. There was money made back for me, profit.
And what was the scene like in your house when that happened?
When I saw, because like Shopify, if anyone knows, they have the most, like, when you make a sale, remember I used to go to school and I hear the sound a lot. It was like, it has the cash register, it was like ching ching.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It has that little sound, and it's like I then was like addicted to that sound. So I'd like, probably for my like detriment, like, but when I heard that first sound, I didn't even know a sound. I literally walked away from my phone after you put it up, like adrenaline being like, what's gonna happen here? And I heard the sound and I was like, 20 years, I'm brought back to this moment right now. Like, it was euphoric, like, do you know what I mean? That's when my first was like, I am gonna do this, like, forever. I'm gonna do online business forever. Like, that's the first moment I was like, this is for me. Like,
you were bitten by the bug.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah. And the next 3 months were hectic, like the best hectic I can get, like.
Yeah. So your sales continued then, or did they drop off? Or?
So this was in January of like whatever 2020, 2021 maybe, and so the first sale went through, and then over the next like 2 days, a good few, and maybe did like 500, 600 €. Okay, maybe a little more. I don't know. But then obviously I have 25 orders to get out. Like, how do I ship? How do I manage? How do I send confirmations to the email? How do I do shipping reference? I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. And these are random people in Ireland, like orders down to Cork, orders to Galway. I'm like, how do I do this now? I didn't really think this through, as you can tell. Like, so I figured it out. Anyway. I went up to a warehouse and I just taped boxes and I threw them out, and that was like the best fitting ever. Okay. So from there, Valentine's said, okay, I did a few more.
Still all teddy bears.
All teddy bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did another promotion with Conor Ryan again, just like the week before Valentine's, because this was like 2 or 3 weeks before, so it wasn't. And then that did even better, like. So now, a week for Valentine's, I'm still in school, by the way. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm obviously, this is in January of whatever. I'm in school, supposed to be in school, online at the time, but like I didn't go to one class for the first quarter of that year. I got away with a lot in school, but that first quarter I didn't do anything school wise. I was there doing orders. I was there trying to build a website, trying to market it, trying to do social media, do everything. I learned so many micro skills. It was really, really valuable time for me. Like, but the sales did continue to go, and then Mother's Day comes around, and then Mother's Day was even better because I feel like that just like resonated with young people a lot more. So I went a lot like Conor Ryan was a good person for it as well, but like I can't even think of names at the moment. But like anyone that has a young audience are happy to just buy a nice hamper with a teddy bear and a mug and everything for their parents, for their mum, obviously. And that did much better than Valentine's. Like that probably 4x Valentine's. And that was probably the most mental period I've ever had. Like at 16, I woke up at 4 a.m. every day for like 2 weeks straight, building hampers and stuff. And I'd go home at like 9 p.m. at 16 years old. I would get up, I'd use my electric scooter, I'd go down to my parents' warehouse, I'd wrap 100 hampers. Like one hamper takes like half an hour, you know what I mean? So it took me ages to do 100 orders. Like, so I was there 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. some nights,
Wow.
like eating chicken fillet rolls, drinking whatever, like, do you know what I mean? Lucas's, Coke, anything, like, forget it. I was just like, it complete adrenaline, just doing orders on repeat. And I look back and like, I value that time so much now. At the time, I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to do. Looking back, I loved it.
What was the big thing you learned during that period? What
In
was
terms
the
of,
big aha moment that you referred to earlier?
it was like the web design probably, as I learned a lot about digital marketing. Even though obviously on the ground order, I learned a lot of work ethic as well. Like if you ask, like, let's say my teachers and stuff, teachers, my parents even, before that, I would have been a very lazy person. I wouldn't have been very ambitious. I was probably on the overweight side. I would eat whatever, would never cook. Like it was just like, I wasn't the most ambitious person, but this kicked it for me. This really sparked something in me. And from there, like, I really like knew I was someone else and like started going to the gym and all that kind of stuff like from there. So it actually probably just built me a work ethic.
Right. Let's touch on education for a second, because I'm sure your teachers were thrilled that you weren't in school for the first quarter. I'm sure your parents were scratching their heads, what we should do with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm also interested that you, if I'm correct, you haven't been to university or a third level.
I was there for 2 weeks, but yeah.
For 2 weeks, okay. Well, that sounds like there's a story in that in that itself. Tell me about that. And what was your thinking around your education at that time when you were packing teddy bears?
Yeah, so to touch on education as a whole, the school system and stuff, it was just never for me. Primary school, wasn't a good student, bottom of the class and everything. Remember, I used to have a spelling test every Friday, and my teacher, so on the Monday morning, he'd read the answers out loud, and he wouldn't read mine out because he knew I'd be embarrassed with the results. So was never a studious student at all, like at all. I got away with so much in school for some reason, in terms of like homework and stuff. Like I feel like teachers just like, Ross will do whatever, it doesn't matter. So I really got away with a lot of school. I didn't try at all in school. Like for the junior cert and the evening cert, like hand in heart, like didn't open one book for one exam. And
were you just not interested in it, or had you technical learning challenges, or what was going on there?
Yeah, so I got a dyslexia test when I was in like 5th or 6th class, and I was dyslexic. Okay, I didn't know this beforehand, but I then was like, "Hey, you are dyslexic now." Okay, and I feel like that was probably the worst thing. For now, to say I have dyslexia is fine, but I was made to feel stupid. Okay, and there's a thing called labeling theory. Okay, there's actually a study done, and it's a very unethical study. Okay, where they told little children, okay, that they had a stutter, and they told another group of children they didn't have a stutter. Okay, this was done in like the 1960s. I remember having a look into this before, and the people that were told they had a stutter end up growing up having a stutter. People that didn't, they didn't. So, not that someone said to me, "You are stupid, you are stupid, you are stupid," but like I was moved around from classroom to classroom. Teachers were trying to get through to me. Let's say in primary school, like for some reason I went to, so everyone else would do maths at 11:30. And I'd be taken out of class to go do maths in a little small room with one-on-one teacher. And I was always thinking, why am I doing plus and they're doing multiplication? And I was never told that, and I was made to feel stupid. So I think there was not a chance for me in school going into first year. Again, first year English class comes around, I get dragged out to go to a one-on-one English class. I was never sat down and told why. I was never sat down and said, listen, like, it's not that you are stupid, it's that you have this. So here are the benefits of this. Like, I am so grateful that I have dyslexia. Like, if I can go back and like make myself have it or not, I have it. Like, definitely, it makes me the person I am. It makes you more creative. Like, I'm really, really happy with having dyslexia. But in terms of school, I was made feel stupid, so I acted that way. Went into school thinking, school's not for me. I know it's not. I have evidence it's not. I was told I'm not. This isn't for me. So there's not a chance for me in school, genuinely.
So you built up a belief system then around.
Exactly. I had a limiting belief around school.
Limiting belief.
I told I knew I was bad at maths, so I just, my like law of attraction, like I knew I was bad at maths. I thought I was bad at maths, so I'm not going to be good at maths. Like, so subconsciously, I'm not even going to try. I didn't at all. And then from like maybe before the junior cert, like that was probably just laziness, like, and my belief system. But then like let's say when I built my ambition a little bit more, it was just all to do with like skills not for me.
Would that explain the behaviors that you talked about earlier on about being withdrawn in class and maybe feeling like a little bit on the outside and not disclosing a lot about your business ambitions to your friends and so
Yeah.
on? Will it explain that? And will it also explain your decision not to go to university or to pull out of university? I'm still dying to hear that story.
Yeah. So like I'll just touch on the university thing. So there's a lot of pressure when you're in sixth year. Okay. And like let's say in sixth year, I went through a really rough time. Like unfortunately I lost a friend of mine at the very start of sixth year. It's actually his birthday today.
Ah,
His 21st birthday.
I'm sorry.
So I'm actually not going to get to mention that. But I went through a rough time. So I didn't really have that business in sixth year as much. When that happened, I didn't go to school from September to January, like fully gone from school. And then obviously the question comes around like, what are you going to do in college? What are you going to do in college? Not what are you going to do with your future? What are you going to do in college? And it's like, again, that's the belief system. Like I thought I had to go to college. Like, so had a look and I was already interested in digital marketing. So I'd always like be studying it and listen to a podcast or whatever it is. So I said to myself, what can I do here? I'm not going to get the points for a DCU course, which is 550 points at the time. I'll do a PLC in BlackRock in BFEI or whatever it was called. And I was like, that allows me to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing a PLC. Everyone's like, oh, he's doing a PLC. Okay. Teachers, what are you planning on doing, Ross? Oh, PLC in BlackRock, digital marketing. I love digital marketing. Okay, cool.
Box
it's just
ticked.
Yeah, family, friends, uncle, whatever. Everyone's like, box ticked. He knows what he's doing. Perfect. Even though I knew, and the thing about it as well is that it's free. So I knew I wouldn't be finishing college, but I wouldn't want, like, let's say my parents would definitely be paying for it, like, because they happily would pay for my education, like. So I didn't want them to go and pay $3,000 a year, $4,000 a year. So I don't know how much. I think it's about $4,000 a year for UCD or something. I wouldn't want them to pay that, me knowing I wouldn't finish it. So PLC was also free as well. So I'm not wasting anyone's money or time. Only my own if I'm not going to finish it. Like as in someone else might be like, you're wasting your time. I didn't really feel like I was. But applied for it, got accepted, and I went in for the first 2 weeks.
And then what happened?
Then I had an idea for a business. And I was like, that's fine. I can do this part-time. And I went in one day and one of my teachers or lecturers, now probably a bit longer than 2 weeks, probably there from, mid-September to the very end of October. Okay, so just maybe over a month, of proper college. I wasn't going in for these 1 or 2 lectures. I was only going in for the digital marketing one. Obviously, in any course, it's like there was loads of stuff anyway, and I was only interested in digital marketing, so I'd only go to his lecture. And I got a lot out of it actually. He was a good teacher, but he came to me and said, "Ross, listen, you need to go to your lectures. You need to you can't not go. You can't pick and choose. You can't just come in from my class." Like, okay, and I got up and I walked out. I didn't go back in ever again. Ever again.
That's great.
At the time, no income, no job, no nothing.
Yeah.
But again, like I'm privileged to say, like my family would happily take care of me if I had something like, do you know what I mean? So it was not a worry for me. But I then used that time I had for the next year. My parents still thought I was going into college. They asked me how my exams went in Christmas time. I think they went great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I was in the background building something like.
Which we're going to come to in a second, but I've
Yeah.
got one more question on education. If you take our education system, not just in Ireland, but across the world, is it fit for purpose? Is it setting students up for success in this new world that we talked about? Or is it outdated, in your opinion? I
think there is actually no debate for saying if it's outdated or not. It's like clearly outdated, like by evidence. Like, you ever see they compare, the car from 100 years ago to now. It's completely different. You compare a microwave from then to now, like it's the exact same, and it was built for the Industrial Revolution, I think, wasn't it?
Correct.
So like they haven't changed that at all. So I think outdated. I don't think there'll be a debate on that now. But is it fit for purpose? I think as I said, like you can probably get a lot of limiting beliefs from school, as I did. And I had one or two amazing teachers that brought out the best in me, but a lot of teachers brought out the worst in me. So like I had a teacher and like I actually have a lot to thank for him. Like he was the one that like in school, I was happy to show him my website. It's amazing. And I tell him about a sale I got. He'd be no way. And like we'd sit down together and he used to help me at grammar like a lot. So we sat down like outside of like school hours. So no, it was in school hours, but outside of like his time with our class, like he'd sit down with me and he'd like help me with my grammar on my website. So like he brought the best out of me. But then there's other teachers that would like again make me feel stupid. Not even that they'd be not that I was like, you know, misbehaving or anything. They actually make me feel stupid. So I think labeling people and stuff like that is a really big red flag for me, and it's not okay. Like I think there definitely improvements to be done in the school system.
If I was to ask you, what is your primary purpose
Like perfect.
in life? What's Ross on this earth for?
That's something I definitely need to give more thought. 100%. I love the idea of freedom. I think a lot of business owners do. And that's why that's my purpose to begin with. And that's what's giving me like the activation energy, you could say, to go and build something like, is that you want freedom. Now, it doesn't come with much freedom in the beginning, but I just wanted to like not have the typical life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the worst idea to me was to have, you know, the stereotypical American dream, for example, where you have your job, nice kid, like, you know what I mean? Like, job, two kids, wife, that's it. Like, I wanted to have a bit more than that in terms of like freedom for travel and living while I was young as well. That was a big thing for me. Like, I didn't want to go into an entry level job and have to work for 10 years then to be on a decent salary. Like, I wanted to be able to live that, not even, it's not the money for me. Like, it's not that I need X, Y, and Z coming into my pocket every month. It's just that I want to be able to have freedom while in my 20s. Like,
And if you take that concept of freedom that you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
would you describe it as a going to motivation? So I'm motivated for this life of freedom because it provides me with X, Y, Z, and I have a vision that it could be really amazing and really extraordinary way to live my life? Or would you describe it as an away from motivation? So was there a time in your past where you have experienced non-freedom and you never want to go back there again? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
And
think
that evokes negative emotions in you.
it's definitely away from. I think for me, like people talk about like negative and positive visualization. So for me, thinking about where I could be in 5 years in a negative way will give me that activation energy so much more than being like, I could be in the Bahamas sitting there on my laptop. Like, that's great. That is great. And that does give you a certain level of ambition and drive. But for me to be like, Ross, you could be, you know, digital marketing manager in Amazon in town, and you could be working 40 hours a week and you're not building something for yourself. You're not doing anything for yourself. Your progression is pretty low. Like, that scares me so much. It really does. I think that's because of school acting as well. Like in school, you're controlled, like,
Okay.
and the control, that's what scares me.
Business time. Tell us about your business today.
The business today, we're running a business called RFM Digital. Basically, what we do is we're a customer acquisition partner for service-based companies.
A customer acquisition partner.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So what we do is we partner with service-based companies to take care of getting customers for their services. When I was speaking to a lot of service-based owners before I started, I did a bit of like primary research. Like, I'd go to business owners and be like, "What you're struggling with?" They all said the same thing. They all said like, "I'm great at my service. I'm great at operations. I'm great at getting good people in the company, but I just can't get the right customers in." They can get customers potentially. You know, everyone can probably get the odd few leads, but they couldn't get the right customers. And let's say a roofing contractor wants to do big roof repairs, but they can only find people coming for small guttering jobs. You know, everybody that I spoke to was like, "Yeah, I'm okay, I'm getting by, but I'm just not getting the right people coming into the company for customers. So that's where we come in and we handle it completely for them. So the idea is behind it, like so our partners, okay, we work with 15 partners at a time at a maximum. Our partners, I want to relieve the stress of ever getting customers ever again in their minds. So if we come in, the second that we put pen to paper and say, let's do this for 3 months or whatever, I want to say, you'll never ever have to worry about getting customers ever again. We'll come in and we'll take care of it for you.
How do you do it?
Basically what we do is, okay, so it depends on the company. If you take any service-based company, they typically have like 1 to 2 services that they love to offer. They get that phone call for that big roof repair and like, that's what I want. And I always say, like, imagine we got you 20 of them a week. So what we do is, let's take the dental clinic, for example. Let's say Invisalign braces, okay, that's their ideal service. They have the most profit, their operations are smooth, they have good employees for it. Okay, that's where the bang for their buck is, for advertising and for our cost, for example. We'll come in, we'll build a landing page. Okay, we'll build a landing page for it. We'll have all our UX principles, all our market research and stuff, all our data from other companies and stuff like that. Build a landing page for it using all that kind of information.
So a website, right?
Website, not a website. It's just a landing page. So like a website's, a 10-page website where you have your contact page, you have a home page, you have a service page. We build a landing page.
One page?
Just one page. And the difference between a landing page and a website is that a website can typically convert at 1 to 2%. So every 100 visitors come on, you get 1 to 2 leads. A landing page is 5 to 10%. So when I always find like the Irish market are always behind in some stuff. So like if you go to America and you mention landing page, you're like, oh yeah, landing page, you have to have a landing page. But when I say to the business owners here in Ireland, like, what's a landing page? They don't really understand. So I always find we're like 5 years behind America and everything. But like, as I said, like those stats we actually tested. So we ran ads too. So we build websites as well. If the client doesn't have a website or needs a refresh, we ran ads to a website. We ran ads to a landing page. And the stats prove right. So it's about 1 to 2% conversion rate.
So if I land on somebody's landing page,
yeah,
what am I seeing? I'm not seeing anything about what the customer does, am I?
The landing page, all you see, so we make it look like a website. Okay, so you have like typical like logo top left, you have your menu bar, down the bottom you have the information about the company, location, contact information, whatever. But you can't click anywhere out of it. So if you click the menu and click services, it anchors you down to the service section on that one page. It just helps, like we have software that track user behavior. So if you went onto one of our sites right now and you were scrolling, we can see like where you clicked. We can see what buttons you clicked. We can see where you bounced off. And we find that a lot of people that go onto websites, let's say you went on for, again, Invisalign. You go onto the Invisalign service page. You go onto it, okay. You go to the home page. You scroll down for a bit. You go to the about page and then you click out. It's just, you only want to give customers one place to go if you want to convert them. So having them distracted with a pop-up and their about page and like the website's not, designed to convert somebody. It's just about information. Like brochure websites aren't made to convert people. Landing pages are. And again, if we were in America right now, you'd get like everyone would be like, oh yeah, obviously, like, but we're just that bit behind in Ireland and the UK.
So am I right in saying that a landing page is, it sounds like there's a couple of different reasons why you would want one. A, it gives you some stature and some presence on the web. Yeah. And B, it's almost like your business card. It's just a business card, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it in, actually. Never thought about it like that. It's just like the only objective of that landing page is to get someone to get in contact with your business. A website's like, you need a website as well because people need to be able to trust you as well. So big website, but they're brochure websites. They're designed to, portray information, to give a company story, to give a vision of the founder.
So the builder, the roofing contractor that you're talking about will have a landing page and a website. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So ideally you have your website. Okay. Again, we have a few partners that actually don't have a website. Maybe they don't want to invest the money into a website. Like websites are big projects but if you have your website, okay, whatever it is, you have your, all your services listed out, but it's not necessarily designed for you to go and look for a service. It's designed for you to go on and read about the company. When was it founded? Who's the founder? What's the vision? when was it established, everything like that. But if you want specifically, you want a roof repair right now because of the storm that was on last Friday, you'll go to Google and you'll come to a landing page, our landing page.
Gotcha.
And we'll get you to convert into a lead because all there is to do is put your contact information in.
So how do you get new customers?
We get new customers kind of like a lot of referrals, which is
Okay.
a great sign for the company. Like, do you know what I mean? Our referral rate has only gone up and up and up and up. So for every customer we get 2 referrals. So we get a lead come in, we convert them into a sale. They're our partner now. We work on a partnership basis as well. So we don't work with clients. We work as partners. Like, so we want to be their, again, customer acquisition partner. We don't want to be that company that comes in and do lead gen. Like, that's not what we do. We want to take care of their customer acquisition. Like,
And if there were 15 roofing contractors in a certain town, would you want to deal with all 15 or only one?
no. So like, stay true to us being partners. We only work with one company per industry, per location. So our Dublin roofing contractor, for example, we have a roofing company here in Dublin. If another roofing company comes to us, we're saying no. Waiting list potentially, but like, again, our partners, they don't want to leave because it's a partnership. Like, you can't leave your business partner, like, do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to. Now, again, anyone can leave when they want, like, but because we act as a partner and we get them customers for their ideal services, they don't want to leave. So most of the time when people come to me, I don't even mention a waiting list because I don't see the partnership ending.
And how long typically would you want to hold on to that partnership?
I want to work with the partners forever. Like,
Okay.
Like, let's say, for example, the roofing contractor, like, they want to pass the company down to the family. Like, and that's a lot of roofing companies. They're like family built companies. They want to pass it down to their children and for the children to run it. I want to be there still. I want our company or FM Digital to be still with them and still getting them customers for the most profitable services.
Many years ago, I used to work in a company called Golden Pages.
Oh, did you know?
Yellow
Oh, yeah,
Pages.
I'm very familiar with them, yeah.
It sounds like you're the modern day Yellow Pages.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it, what they actually do.
So we used to sell advertising space. So if you had a window company or a roofing contractor,
Yeah,
we would sell advertising space to all the roofing contractors in Dublin. So somebody who was looking for a roof repair would look up the Yellow Pages
yeah,
and they would see John's roofing repairs.
yeah.
And they would dial them. So the Yellow Pages or Golden Pages, as it was called in
Yeah.
Ireland, was the sales and marketing arm of John's roofing company.
Yeah.
So that sounds exactly what like you are.
Exactly. Yeah, like most anyone that's, skilled by trade or even the dental clinic, like, do you know what I mean? They're all good at the service. But they don't have marketing degrees, for example. Neither do I, but like, I study marketing all the time. And getting customers isn't their specialty.
So you take care of sales.
Yeah, take care of getting sales for their services and their most profitable services. We don't want to come in and get them leads, for example, let's say the dental clinic. They don't want to do like the 50-euro teeth whitening. They want to do the $5,000 average order value Invisalign. They want to do, the roofing company wants to do the big roof repairs. Some roofing companies want to do roof installations, where your average order value can be 50 grand. And we come in and we get them the customers for those services. And we don't work with everyone that comes to us either. Like, they could, if a roofing company comes to us in Leitrim, for example, and wants to do roof installations, like, that's not a good fit because there's not going to be 100 houses in Leitrim every month that want roof installations. So it does depend on their goals as well. We want to work with companies that want to grow. We don't want to work with companies that are just looking for a few leads every month. We want to take them to the next level. Like the roofing company in Dublin, for example, they want to go from like 15 vans on the road to like 20 in the next year. And that takes a serious amount of work, and that takes a serious amount of customers to have the capacity for that. So that's where we come in. We want to grow with ambitious companies. Like,
you mentioned earlier that you'll only deal with 15 companies at a time. It sounds like a pod of companies, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah.
How will you, like, when you're building their sales for them, you're obviously busier.
Yeah.
Getting those leads and sales funneled into the roofing company and the other 14 companies. How does this scale for you?
It scales for me by getting bigger and better companies Okay, so as I said, like we're not even at capacity at the moment because we're really picky about who comes in. Like we could have like a month with no new partners, but we've had 20 calls with companies that are interested. You know, it might not be a good fit for them or it might not be a good fit for us. But it scales for me by like getting bigger and bigger companies coming in. I don't want to build a company with 50 partners. Like I want to build a company with, now we will expand. Like it's a team of 3 at the moment. So it's myself and 2 other people. Okay. I want that to maybe grow to 5. And from there, we might take on 25 partners. And then that would be it. But the way it's getting for me is the level of partnership I have with the companies. So, you know, as I work with bigger and bigger companies, like we're providing more and more value. So if let's say the dental clinic wants to go from 5 leads a week to 10 leads a week, we wouldn't work with them now, but we probably would have worked with them a few months ago. Okay. They might have an average retainer of X, Y, and Z. Okay. But let's say now a lead comes in for a dental clinic that wants to open 5 new locations in Dublin. That's who we want to work with.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the only revenue, I don't need to know figures, but the only revenue that I shouldn't say the only revenue, the revenue that you're living and running your company on is the monthly fee that you charge to each one of these partners.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are looking at introducing like maybe commission-based roles or commission-based structures. It might help with people like, you know, trusting it a little more instead of like having to sign up for this contract and stuff and there's no, you know, guarantee like, but at the moment it's all retainers. Yeah.
Why should somebody come and work with you as a partner?
Again, like as I said, like my market research. Okay, when I started out as a freelancer, like you know what I mean. It's only a team of 3 now, so it's not some conglomerate company. Like, but I spoke to everyone in the service-based industry, and they're great at their service, but they don't know how to get customers. Or they might be working off referrals, and they love their business, but they just struggle to get the customers. And I was saying, like, imagine we could bring you 10 new customers for that service. Their eyes light up, like, and there's so many. Like we get a bad rap. Okay, that's why we don't like calling ourselves lead generation companies, because there's a lot of like subpar companies out there that don't do great jobs. So that's why we're just like, we're not a lead generation company. And I say that to everyone. We're not a lead generation company. We're not a Google Ads agency. We're not even an agency. Like we're literally partnering with our companies. So like if someone, like I'll put it like this, like if somebody here is watching right now and they have that service in mind, they're like, that's my most profitable. Imagine we got you like the amount of customers on a consistent basis. Like how would you be able to hire? Like, would you be able to get that extra van on the road with peace of mind? You know, if you're working off referrals, like who knows if that's going to come next month? Like you might get 10 leads a week, but next month it could be 0. So if we partner together and 3 months down the line, it's very predictable. Like it's very easy to scale it. So if we're getting 10 leads a week and you close 50% of jobs, you have 5 jobs every week, and you want to get that van on the road, at least you know you have 5 jobs there.
Yes.
And all we do is if you want to get 10 jobs, we just up the ad spend. And a little bit more investments needed from the companies, but they can just scale predictably. And they can go to bed with a peace of mind, like, you know.
So how many Rosses are there out there targeting that same roofing contractor for business?
For marketing services?
Yeah.
Too many. Like I create a lot of emails for our clients. We take care of a lot of stuff with Google, like as in, you know, like setting up Google business profiles, setting up their emails. And whenever we set up an email, like it gets flooded by like, we do this, and like every time I speak to someone, like they nearly roll their eyes, being like, "Oh, here we go, someone else." Like, you know what I mean? And it's about really differentiating ourselves, like by saying like, "That's not us," like genuinely. And I feel like because we're really true to the partnership and stuff, like as I said, 15 partners at a time, you know, we're really working together long term. I think that comes across in the way we speak as well. Let's say Luke, the sales rep, like he knows the vision of the company, like, and he knows where we want to go with it, and he knows how we want to help people, and he sees the results every week, like. So when he's selling, like he's not selling, he's helping, like, and that is articulated in body language, in eye contact, and everything. If you're doing something a little bit dirty, and you know deep down you're not going to do the best job, you're not going to sell the right way. You're gonna sell. We don't sell, like. We want to try help. If it's not a good fit for you, we're happy. If it's not a good fit for us, then we're happy.
3 years down the line, 5 employees,
Yeah.
25 great partners.
Yeah.
What happens then?
I'll definitely want to continue it. We'll continue the way we're going. We'll really just keep on trying to get bigger and bigger partners. We might, differentiate from like service-based businesses. We might start working with e-com companies. We might start working with, corporations, like proper corporations. Who's to say where it'll go? Because like I started this out thinking that I wanted to make a few €1,000 a month by myself and live a peaceful life, like. But as you grow, you just continue to want to grow. Like. So I got a little bit addicted there, all night. So I literally said, "Listen, I'll be a Google Ads freelancer," and then I got some clients. I was like, "Let me try hire some for Google Ads." So, well, now where's my time going to go now? Let me try to get more clients and let's build some systems. And now that's the way I continue want to go. So like, who's to say that I'll only have 5 employees? Like, they'll probably get to that, and I'll be like, John, let's make a 20-person company. Let's get a headquarters in Dubai. I don't know.
Yeah.
But going forward, I just want to keep on growing for the moment.
Okay. Can you see yourself doing this in 10 years?
Yeah. I love digital marketing, and I love helping companies that are struggling in terms of customer acquisition. So that fulfillment I get is, yeah, it's 100%. I also, like, when I was starting out, I hated sales.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
When I would, like, go on and, like, at the start, like, I probably didn't have enough conviction in my product, like, and I was trying to get someone over the line. It's the most draining thing ever. And then once I got someone in and we started getting results, I felt like it was a disservice not to tell them. It was a disservice not to say, "Hey, let me cold call you." At the start, that's all I did. It was ring companies on the phone, mobile phone. "Hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?" I said to myself, to get me again the activation energy to ring these companies, it's not nice, like, getting rejected all the time. So I said, well, it's a disservice for me as a person not to tell this person about what I have, because it will genuinely help them. So once I got a few clients in and we got some good results, I just completely removed the kind of like the ickiness around sales, because at the end of the day, I was just trying to help someone.
So you don't sell?
No, we just try to help. And if that help is you come to us, and we always say if a customer comes to us, a potential customer comes to us, we go off and we do like 24 hours of research based on the initial questions we ask them. And from there, we present them kind of like what their competitors are doing, because we have a good few tools that can see exactly what their competitors are doing. So if someone just wants that bit of value and then like is potentially looking down the road of investing in something like us, we'll happily bring them through what we found. And that's all it is. Like when we have our consultation calls, we just bring them through what we've learned about their industry.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I learn more about the industry, they learn more about their competitors, and we're both better off. And then if we work together, we're even more better off. Like,
it strikes me that as an entrepreneur,
yeah.
This is the start of your career. Well, even though you're 5 or 6 years into it now, it does strike me that you won't settle for this, and you're going to see other opportunities, and you're going to start different businesses. One of the byproducts, it sounds, of what you're doing today is that you actually do learn an awful lot about a lot of different businesses.
Yeah.
Are there any other businesses out there that have caught your eye, and you're saying in the back of your mind, you're going, "Oh, I might want to open a chain of sandwich shops, or I might want to do something else online or in the digital world"? What?
I always thought that, like, when I started out doing, customer acquisition, I always thought like there has to be an easier way to do this at scale. Okay, so at the moment, as I said, like, we're running Google Ads and we're kind of like, really advertising. But if there is a way for me to build a place that connects, like, obviously there's a lot of, like, let's say, trade.ie and stuff, like, where they connect people, okay, with like someone wants a roof repaired, there's a roofing contractor, and they meet in the middle in the software, okay. But I'm kind of more thinking I'd love to build something that can advertise on autopilot, so I can lower the prices and I can do that scale. So with the current position we're in, it's 15 partners max. Okay. And we don't even, like, 15 partners is kind of stretching it a little bit. So we're at like 13 at the moment, like, okay, with a few people on the fence about like if they're going to go for it or not, speaking to business partners and stuff. So hopefully we'll finish next month out at 15. But I'd love to build something that anyone can come onto. The solo roofing contractor, the solo plumber that wants to start that business, but doesn't think he has the capacity for it in terms of work. I'd love to build something that can connect people together in terms of advertising. I can do it at scale, and anyone can just come on, log in, pay for something, and then they just get customers to come to them. And keeping true to like customer acquisition, like.
Is there a business opportunity in taking all those hundreds of you Rosses
Yeah.
around the world that are targeting John Roofer,
Yeah.
and combining the forces of all of those 100 Rosses
Yeah.
into a really powerful marketing engine? Is there an opportunity there to do something like that, or is that already being done?
Yeah. Yeah, there could be. And I was thinking, like, if we get really, really good at, like, learning about companies and stuff, like, when we get, like, really, really, and the companies we love working with, like, potentially we look at, like, actual partnerships where, like, we might invest into the companies. And then we have equity with a partner, example. So, like, again, keeping the employees small, not having a team of 50 people, keeping it to 3, 4, 5 people. And then we actually invest money into the companies and grow with them. You know what I mean? As like a minority, like.
I love this. I love this new thinking because,
Yeah.
As I have gone through my own career, it was always the ambition for companies to hire more and more and more. I need to be a company of 1,000 employees,
Yeah.
or I need to be 5,000 employees. But you're saying no, keep it small, keep it boutique, but
Yeah.
but grow it exponentially at the same time. It's a
Yeah.
skill, isn't it?
I think the way a business should be operated, and if you look at Elon Musk, he did this. You start at the high end, nearly. So like Elon Musk, when he made Tesla, he started out, I don't know the names of the cars now, but he started out selling cars for 400 grand. And then you go down market because you have the systems in place now. You know the market. So for me, when we start out kind of like working with high ticket, small company, high ticket clients, do you know what I mean? I learned the system for everything. But if I was to start out saying you need like Amazon, for example, obviously they didn't start out like that. They started out just saying we want to do as much as possible. You need much more capital, a lot more risk. You need efficient processes in place, which just doesn't happen at the start of a company. Like. So unless you've lots and lots and lots of capital, I think the better way to start a company is to go backwards and early. So like start out with small but big high ticket prices so you can learn the process, you can build it the right way, and then you can go downstream from that. So like, for example, like as I said about like some sort of like, business to consumer connection business, that would be at scale. And the only way to do that would be investing a lot of money into it. It'd be having the right processes in place, and everything has to be to the T. Because at that scale, one thing goes wrong and the whole thing breaks. At the moment, if one thing, not that like loads of stuff go around, but like if Luke is sick for the day, it's very easy to manage because there's only like 4 calls that day.
Yeah.
So I just hop in and it's 4 calls, and how do we make sure that never happens again? And we fix it. And then that's fixed. That happens when there's 1,000 customers on a software and you don't have the capacity to fix it. You don't have the resources, you don't have the people, whatever it is. That's when I believe your house screwed.
What's your secret sauce?
My secret sauce for business is systems. I'm like really, really, really big in systems. I say systems in any sort of operation sort of standpoint, like whether that's something as simple as how to make an invoice. I want that on paper with the video, step by step by step by step to the T. And I have it from when should an invoice be sent and when is this finished. So like when is an invoice sent and when is it paid?
So automated systems that allow you to eventually step away from the day to day.
Yeah. So I look at some businesses that's like around, my group, like family, friends, not necessarily friends, but like let's say like some family businesses that would be around me. It's just a lack of systems, which makes them have a high paying job, like maybe not even high paying, just a crazy job, like.
Yeah.
And there's the quote from the E-Myth. Don't know if you recognize the book or are familiar with it. And it's like, if your business relies on you, you don't own a business. You don't own a business. You have a stressful job because you're working for a maniac. If you know what I mean. I'm probably not phrasing that one exactly to the right, but at the end of the day, like, you don't have a business, you have a job, and you're working for a lunatic, like, which is yourself, which is me. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to work for me, like, so I build the system so that it runs and anyone can run it.
What have we not talked about?
I'm not sure. Is there any other points that you think?
I think we have got a great sense of who you are and the journey that you've been on personally. We've also got to know your business very well.
I think so.
And we have a really good outlook on where you want to take this business and where you want to go yourself. I must say it's a privilege and great fun to listen to your story and get to know you as well. It's really great.
I love that, Ben. I love sharing it as well.
See, excuse me, I know just from talking to you that you're going to go all the way. So I wish you all the very best with that. And we'd love to catch up again. We'd love to catch up again in the future, whether it's a year down the line or even shorter, even before that, or even after that, and chart your progress through this business world, because it sounds like you're on a real winner. So I wish you well, and thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me, Mickey. Appreciate it. Thank you.